Governor O'Malley's tiff with the White House over immigration may be, and I underscore the word may, be his ticket to a higher national profile.
Polls do indicate that O'Malley is struggling to be noticed as a presidential contender. 11 News I-Team reporter David Collins is live in the studio tonight with more on that story. David.
Well, Donna, the latest Gallup poll finds that 91% of voters are familiar with Hillary Clinton, but O'Malley's name recognition comes in at 16%. As far as O'Malley being at odds with the president, whose approval rating, by the way, is only 44%, some believe he got lucky. The White House tried to make him look like a hypocrite. The governor not only debunked that, but his views on immigration is giving him some traction.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Kathy, thank you.
Governor Martin O'Malley, who's barely a mention in presidential polls, is now grabbing the attention of liberal Democrats throughout the country. Those who disagree with the president's handling of the unaccompanied illegal immigrant children.
O'Malley is trying to carve out a reputation for himself that would be very popular among those who will be nominating the next president.
Last week, during the National Governors Association meeting in Nashville, O'Malley broke with the administration's plan to expedite the deportation of the children. He also criticized the conditions under which the children are being detained.
We are Americans, and we do not return refugee kids who find themselves on our doorstep back into war-torn or famine-racked places where they will face certain death.
White House advisor Cecilia Munoz called O'Malley to complain. Then a portion of that conversation was leaked to Politico and CNN that made O'Malley look like a hypocrite. O'Malley reportedly told Munoz, "Please don't send these kids to Western Maryland," a reference to using this vacant Army Reserve facility in Westminster as a temporary shelter. O'Malley told reporters during the call he advised the White House about local opposition and warned that the area may not be hospitable to the children. 2 days after that call, someone spray-painted graffiti on the building. State police are investigating it as a hate crime.
O'Malley comes across as much more sympathetic and caring individual.
The O'Malley administration is actively looking for suitable locations in Maryland to temporarily shelter the children. The governor opposes warehousing them. He prefers a licensed group home setting.
Maybe near Washington, D.C., so it's close to the embassies, and possibly in Baltimore City, and that the state will then throw in a lot of resources to make sure that from a political standpoint, O'Malley looks like the good guy.
It also puts him to the left of Hillary Clinton, and in contrast to Obama surrogate Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who also polls better than O'Malley. Earlier this year, O'Malley declared Maryland will not comply with parts of a federal deportation program. In 2011, he championed the DREAM Act, giving in-state tuition rates to children whose parents are in the U.S. illegally. So finding a shelter location in Maryland helps him.
So he becomes a hero to the Hispanic community, which will be very important in the next presidential election.
Political analysts point out even though polls find O'Malley struggling to get noticed, at the moment he's the only Democrat acting like a serious candidate. Reporting live from the studio, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.